Today, I want to go through some things that I think are really going to help you move forward in this hobby. So, like I've said millions of times, I base a lot of this off of the fighting game community. And there are millions of videos on YouTube that'll help you get better at fighting games. Not a lot that are going to help you with Beyblade. Not saying that there aren't a lot of Beyblade channels out there. There are a ton of Baytubers, and a lot of them are now starting to come out with fundamental videos, or hey, here's a stance, hey, here's your grip, hey, here's a certain launch. But I've seen in my comments a lot of people saying they don't even know how to aim their launch. So there is an aiming video on my channel. There's a targeting video. Positioning your shot is more of wrist positioning, and I've got a target video where I'm saying, hey, once you figure out your positioning, start placing something in that stadium and aiming for it. Hit it consistently. Aim that shot. Land the bank shots. Land getting right into the X line. Block the X line, right? There are a lot of different strategies that we can take, and it's all in the wrist, right? But what I want to get into, or what I think are some core fundamentals at this point, and this list will grow, obviously, but just getting into it, just looking at it real quick and making, a 10-minute video, just some fundamentals that I think are going to help you move to the next level. So first, we're going to get into knowledge. We need to know about the blades, the ratchets, the bits. We need to know about our parts, our combos, and our opponent. A big piece of the game is showing each other what blade you're bringing. So knowledge, quick knowledge, not being able to, look up a guide on how to defeat this or how to defeat that. We need to know a generalization. We need, we call it a 30,000 foot view, right? I need a 30,000 foot view of what ball does. What is the difference between ball, gear ball, and disc ball, right? I need a 30,000 foot view because if my opponent has a spike, odds are they're not going for an attack. Odds are they're not going to try and outlast me. They're trying to block something, right? So we need a 30,000 foot view of the ratchet, where that's pulling the weight down. Where are these, a lot of people look at ratchets as, this, and this. But really the one thing I'm looking for is that ratchet and the blade combo. Is the ratchet angled the proper way for maximum efficiency or effectiveness of that blade, right? A great example of this, not a great ratchet, but a great example would be Shark Edge on 260. I know that their focal points are those two attack points because it lines up. Drawn Buster on 170, that he's going for one thing, right? They're only after one thing. So we want to see that. Now, if you see a Drawn Buster on 170 with spike, clearly this is no good. But if you see a Drawn Buster 160 on flat, low flat, excel, like it comes, we know he's after one thing. So we want a 30,000 foot view of that knowledge, right? Because that's going to help our first shot. That's going to help our first launch into this game, right? And into this match. So as we progress, now we can build off of our opponent. But that first match, that first battle, all we have is what combo are they using? Maybe some slight hand movements, but really I'm basing a lot of it off that combo. All right, second, composure. We want to stay zero. I've mentioned this in a previous video. We want to not be shook before the match even starts. We don't want to overhype ourselves and think that it's an easy match when, a lot of people do this to my son. He's 5. A lot of people go in thinking it's an easy win and he takes their lunch money. So we have to treat everybody the same. Doesn't matter age, doesn't matter gender, none of it matters. My wife beats me in this hobby all the time. So We want to keep our composure. Don't overcook it, don't undercook it. Just come in, keep your composure, know your strategy, and look forward. All right, innovation. We want to look at, we're not looking at combo, like a stock combo most of the time. We want innovation. I believe that's a fundamental because we need to understand how things work, but we also need to be willing to try new things. Maybe I've tried this a lot. I don't like the stock combo of Dragoon, but I tried to swap out the Cyclone, but I was just so used to the Cyclone bit, and I know my strategies for the Cyclone bit. I was trying to innovate and use, I believe I was going to use low flat on it, and it was completely different because I love low flat on Drigger, and I thought maybe I could try the same or a similar tactic with left spin, and it came out completely bad for me. So I'm innovating, I'm trying new things, but what's going to happen is the more I play Dragoon with my ratchet on Cyclone, I'm not going to give you all the pieces to my combo, but the more I play that, the more people are going to understand how to beat it. So now I've got to innovate and I've got to find something new for Dragoon, or else my plays are going to get played out. I can't keep running the same thing and expect to win all the time. So consistency, right? That's another fundamental. What are you doing to make each launch as consistent as possible? That is a huge piece, because if I am consistent, then now I understand, like I was just talking about with the Cyclone bit, that's a consistent shot for me. I use a lot of bits that come on blades. I notice this now, but Vice Tiger, I change a lot of ratchets out, but Vice Tiger I run on Unite because it gives me so many options, and Vice Tiger I think is a great blade to run a lot of options. It's a jack of all trades, a master of none, right? But I want that consistency, especially with something like Vice Tiger, because any slight variation in my launch changes it from an attack launch to a defense launch, and that could lose me the match. That could lose everything, right? We could be 6-6. This happens all the time. That's the hardest one, right? You're 6-6, and now I'm overthinking. Now I'm all of these things, and my consistency is also off. Well, I wanted to attack in a certain place, and I totally jumped that launch, right? Or I totally screwed it up, and now it's defense. So we want that consistency with each and every launch. We want to be able to call our shots. Strategy. What is your play style, right? How are you handling this? Or are you just random launching? Are you just putting your hand out, rip as hard as you can? Maybe a little bit of a tilt launch or something, but do you have a strategy? Do you have a game plan? Because if you don't and you're just hard launching, it's not consistent. If you're just randomly launching, that's going to be readable, right? One of my best blading friends, he does a hard launch with it's predictable, or it used to be, right? It was predictable. Was it hard to beat? Yes, but it was predictable in the ways of it was a hard launch right into the middle every single time at angle. Let him burn out because he was running attack blades on very aggressive bits. Let him burn out. Stay away from him, right? Again, using that Vice Tiger, run a stamina, put it up in the pocket, up in the X-line pocket, let it burn out on the far side. Let him slam as hard as he wants to into everything. He'll self-KO. Or, by the time I get there, he's so burned out, I've got more stamina than that. Now we'll have a battle. So I'm fighting you at 30% when I'm still at 80. So strategy. What is your strategy, right? Do you have a game plan? Don't go in there and random launch, especially for a tournament. Have a game plan. Adaptation. And this will be the last one for the video, but can you adapt to your opponent? Or are you stuck in that strategy, in that game plan? Is that your only game plan, right? And I would really like to talk to, so if anybody knows Blade Bay, I would really like to talk to him because we have similar backgrounds. from martial arts, combative sports, stuff like that. I would really like to talk to him, because being able to adapt to your opponent in a fighting art, that is a huge component. That's huge. So being able, and that's another reason that Vice Tiger is in my lineup, right? It's in my lineup for, competitions when I have to run 3-3, he's in there because it allows me a greater way to adapt to my opponent versus running hard attack all the time. Do you have a game? Do you have a game plan? Great. Are you able to change said game plan? If I were getting into a fight, hey, I'm ready to block this whatever hit combo, but can I adapt if he doesn't throw that combo? If he throws something different, can I adapt and still come out on top? That's what we're looking at here. Not, I need a different blade. No, can you adapt? That's really why I like to push this one blade and one blade, best to 7. My son likes to jump. A lot of people like to jump. The WBO likes to jump. I just want one-on-one. I want one-on-one, best to 7. And that is the way that my tournaments, the gear sport tournaments, are going to be run. Right now I'm doing a draft tournament. Signups for that are still going at the time of this recording. There are still some tickets left. Get your tickets. But I like the 1-to-1 best to 7. Now, the draft tournaments are only going to be to 4 because there is no strategy, right? I'm working with Newsel 3D, and we're going to be launching off of their dual launcher, right? So there's no strategy. I want to keep it as fair as possible to everyone. But when we're competing in person, which I will start hosting in-person tournaments, the more this channel grows, I will start hosting those. But they're gonna be a challenge. They're gonna be a challenge. Not only is it gonna be 1-on-1 to 7, but there's gonna be some physical element to each tournament. It is going to be a destination tournament. I am not willing to set up, my arena that I spent time and effort on the floor, right? In the grass. Maybe it'll be in the grass, but not the way you think. But that's not what I want. That's not what I want for the subscribers of this channel. That's not what I want for the sport. I want to make it a destination tournament. So as international gear sports grows, as the IGS grows, we're going to keep pushing this forward, right? 1-on-1, I want to see you as a blader, as a strategist. What can you do with this? As a fighter, as a pilot, right? We've talked about that in other videos. Are you playing or are you piloting? As a pilot of your blade, do you just want to switch to another blade? Or are you able to adapt? Can you make those, hard choices on your launch? Can you adapt to the way that I play? Can you adapt to the way that your opponent plays? Can you adapt to your plays? So guys, this was a great video. I think if you look through these fundamentals, go through the videos in my channel, look for other tech videos from other bladers. People are doing it now. People are doing a lot of tech videos. I know Nazuma has some. I know that the Blader Crow has some. Left Spin Bays, a great friend of mine. He is doing a ton of great content. Look through all of the Baytubers. Don't choose just one and set your flag, right? Go through all of us. Use this all as a resource and get that knowledge. Build your fundamentals. This is the video telling you what fundamentals to look out for. I'm telling you where to look for your fundamentals. Go find them. Build your own strategy. Build your own game plan. And I want to see you guys in the tournaments, at your local tournaments. I want to see you at regional tournaments. When Hasbro finally wakes up and starts hosting official tournaments, I want to see you at those too. So guys, if we want people to take us seriously, we have to take this seriously. This video is just helping you take your game to the next level. All right, guys, hey, it's been wonderful. I hope that everybody watching this video has an amazing day.